Now you kind of you know who you're going to go to war with. You guys had a meeting this morning. You're going to ran around practice a little bit today. Just that excitement of getting it going.
Yeah, I mean, training camp can feel long at times, but then you blink and then the season's here just like that. And, you get a couple days off to kind of get away from it, get refreshed, and kind of get ready to go. So, it's exciting to just, number one, get back in the building after a little bit of time off, get your body moving, run around a little bit. And then obviously we'll really start hitting it hard tomorrow. Today was pretty light as far as preparation is concerned. I really think the coaches don't want us to kind of get too ahead and overthink it almost because you get so excited for week one. So just take it a day at a time.
Because the expectations are so much heightened this year, is there a different level of anticipation that you're in? Does today feel different than this day last year or 5 years ago?
From my perspective and through my day-to-day, no. And I've said kind of things along the lines of this before. If I were to treat it any differently, then I shouldn't have my job as a professional. You should go about your job the same way every single day, no matter what the outlook and expectations are for you. Of course, there's more media wants to talk to us. Of course, there's more buzz around us. But as far as the day-to-day, I think our guys here do a really good job of just going about their business as a professional, how they would even if nobody was watching.
Those playoff games last year were spectacles in terms of atmosphere and stuff like that. I guess just how exciting is it knowing that on Sunday Night Football against the team you just played in those playoffs, the atmosphere is going to be kind of ratcheted up going right back into games this year?
I mean, I know Dan talked about the preseason game was pretty incredible, especially for a preseason game. So, I mean, I'm fully expecting our fans to try and break that sound record again. And it's going to be rocking. They're going to be partying all day. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And they deserve to have the fun because they've been supporting us or supporting, this team for maybe 30, 40 years. I've been getting support from these people this is going on 9 years. So they deserve it. They deserve to have fun. And they do an incredible job supporting us. You can't understate the value of a home field advantage like that. It's just pretty incredible.
Taylor, speaking of atmosphere, you played with Stafford during the playoff game. It was kind of a lot of boos. This time around, it's a regular season game. Do you think there should be the same energy or from the fans, or should there be a moment of appreciation for Stafford?
I have no idea what to expect. Knowing our fans, I'm expecting hostile territory for anybody who comes in here. And, I know Staff is going to take that in stride as a competitor. I don't think it's going to bother him one bit. But that's just the nature of the business. They want to cheer for their team, and anybody who comes in here is the enemy. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be hostile territory.
Taylor, I want to go back to earlier in your career. You said when you would prepare for a rusher, you had these notebooks, these notes on specific guys. When it's I don't know if you still do that, but when it's a rookie, first time you're seeing them, what's the preparation that goes into getting ready for a Jared Verse?
Yeah, well, first of all, he didn't play at all in the preseason, so I don't have any tape on him going against kind of NFL talent. I talked to our assistant O-line coach this morning and kind of picked out games that I wanted against college opponents because that's all I have to go off of. Christian Mahogany at Boston College played against them last year, so I'm going to kind of get some notes from him. I talked to him today about kind of what I'm looking for, and I think he might even reach out to some of his buddies that play tackle and get any thoughts they have. And then, of course, just you're gonna approach the film like you do any NFL film. It's just gonna be college tape. I'm sure he has learned some new things throughout camp, but I just don't have that library of film to go through like I would against a guy who's been in the league 6-7 years. So it's definitely going to pose a challenge because he might be doing different rushes than he did in college. And then I know the defensive tackle on that side, he played with in college as well. So they're probably pretty comfortable with each other. So that's another thing I'm going to look at on the tape because based on the depth chart, I think they're going to be playing the same side together. They could move them around, I'm not sure. Because, again, there's just nothing to go off of based off their tape. And then, obviously, you can go back to last year and kind of look at their structure, but then they have a new defensive coordinator. So, we have an idea of what we think it's going to be. Obviously, we can go on the preseason, but, things can change, and we'll just have to adapt.
If you see known, do you, I don't know, is that scary is the right word, but because you are so prepared to have that much unknown.
Yeah.
How does that make you?
I mean, I would say this is probably the first time I've had to go back and watch college tape to prepare for a guy. But again, I'm just going to approach it the same way I would if I had a big library of tape on a guy. Obviously, he was a first-round pick, so he's going to be a talented guy. So, of course, I wish there was tape from at least preseason to go off of. But I'll just approach it the same way I do. And then if you have to adjust in the game or you're getting things differently in the game, then, that's just part of playing the game. You just got to adjust on the fly.
Curious what you saw from the defense, Detroit's defense in training camp. Just from the outside looking in, looked much improved. They've obviously spent a lot of resources this offseason. Just did you get a sense of that too, and maybe where are they the most improved?
I mean, speaking from my experience, that defensive line is much improved in my opinion. They're flying around. They're playing aggressive, trying to make plays, and it seems like they got some depth where they can kind of roll guys through there who can make some plays. So very disruptive front. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. And I think it's just a good back and forth for us to have as an organization where you got some strengths on the D-line and some strengths on the O-line, and you're just going to be making each other better every single day. So definitely a much improved group from my perspective. I think a guy that you have all heard about who is like really kind of flourishing through camp was Levi. I think he came a long way and he was looking really good. I think Hutch is going to take another step. Davenport, I've never played Davenport before. He was always hurt whenever we would be matched up, but man, he's a big edge-setting, powerful D-end. I mean, he might have one of the best bull rushes that I've had. And then obviously, we're hoping to get DJ back at some point, and then we all know what Aleem can do. And then at that point, we can still roll guys through there and have some depth pieces that can make some plays. So I'm excited to watch them play. Just see those guys fly around because obviously we're, just smacking heads against each other every single day. It's going to be fun to see them do it against another opponent.
Ask one more question about, I guess, the unknown element of it. New defensive coordinator, a lot of new pieces on that defense. There's a lot of unknown beyond your position. When that's the case as an offense, is it just more about what you do than what they do and then adjusting along the way?
Yeah, I think we always need to know the structure of their defense and what they're going to do. But I think the way we approach the game, it's always going to be about what we do. Maybe some plays are up and some plays are down based on, the analytics of, outside zones good against this team or whatever. But there's a lot of times we'll carry runs that we just like and we think we're good at, or we have, a back in the backfield who really likes this run. Same thing in the pass game. We'll have, certain route trees for certain guys that like to run those routes or certain plays and stuff like that. So, yes, you have to be prepared. But of course, I'm of the opinion that it's always going to be about what we do, and we're gonna run our stuff. There's nuance to it to prepare team by team, but we're going to do what we're good at.
One of the things that Dan said to us is that he's kind of pumping the brakes on the internal chatter about the Super Bowl talk. Mm-hmm. Do you guys appreciate that? Do you understand it as a...
Well, I think we'd be doing a disservice to ourselves, the fan base, anybody who supports us. We'd be doing a disservice to all those people if we didn't take week one as seriously as possible, and then week two after that. And then we got to have kind of victories week by week, so to speak, to reach our end goals. I never felt like it was like a big conversation topic within the building. It would come up here and there. But again, we just need to take it week by week because we'd be doing a disservice to each other, and you've seen it too many times. If you look too far ahead, then you might be 3-4 weeks in the season and be like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Like, we're not going to let that happen. We got just like the right mindset of guys, and I know Brad and Dan have done all of their homework to try and bring in the right people who are going to be culture fits around here. So I don't foresee that being an issue, and I think we got the right makeup of guys to take it week by week, and you never overlook an opponent no matter what. That's just crazy in the NFL to overlook an opponent. We'll never do that. It's been fun. It's been good to have him back. Everybody knows he's a character now. But he's one of my best friends. I love him to death. And I played next to him a lot as a young player, and to kind of see his maturation and growth and development as a veteran player now, it's fun. It's fun to see your friends do well, and it's fun to get to play next to them. As with anybody in this group, as with Jonah for the last number of years, he was one of my best friends. I love the guy, so it was cool to see him improve and get better. And I would have loved to have him here, but he moved on. And then for Graham to want to come back and play with his friends, I think that speaks volumes to the type of people that they're bringing in here. And Graham is he's a special one. Yeah.
Jonah, were you happy when he got that deal with the team you're playing this week?
Can you repeat that? I missed the first part.
Just Jonah, I was just saying,
Yeah.
how happy were you for him when he got that deal as well? It's sad to lose him, obviously, on one hand. But
Yeah. It was kind of like a proud dad moment in a way. Not that I'm that much older than him, but I was here when he was a rookie, and I remember his first game we played against the Chicago Bears, and he was playing right guard against Akeem Hicks, and he answered the bell and played really well against that game. And I think everybody was like, oh, we got something here. And he just continued to get better. Obviously had the Pro Bowl season and stuff like that. And, he deserved every penny of that. He's an absolute warrior. He would go to bat for anybody that's got his back. So very deserving. I know he's got, an injury thing. I don't know if he will be out there or not, but I hope I can at least see him just to give him a big hug. I got to see him at Panay's wedding, so did get to see him. Got to go see his house. He's so California, it's crazy. But I love him, yeah.
Speaking of him, it sounds like he might be getting some center reps over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of curious as to your scouting report and him at center. We didn't get to see him do it much here.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I think, I don't know, 4 years ago, he had some snaps against Green Bay like the last game of the year. That's all I got for you. So check that tape.
Guys, time for one more.
Taylor, you mentioned taking it week by week. What's it been like watching the Lions add players with that mindset to take it week by week over the years? Because it really hasn't been an overnight thing.
Yeah.
What's that been like for you watching from far?
Number one, it's been a pleasure to be a part of getting this ship right, going in the right direction, getting everybody rowing and everybody on the same page. So it's been a pleasure experiencing that. And I think I'm just thankful for the leadership in this organization wanting to bring the right people in because they saw what it took to kind of right this ship. And then it's just cool seeing people come in and being excited to be a part of this and just kind of continuing what we're doing here. It's just a testament to all the hard work that was put in by everybody involved. And we just have to keep doing it at this point. But I think, again, I'm beating a dead horse, but Brad and Dan and the leadership have done a really good job of identifying the right people to bring in who are going to fit what we do. Thanks.
Good afternoon.
Just watching from the outside with the all training camp, it looks like it was really a much more competitive defense. I know you guys ended, winning the scrimmage there against the offense. It just looked like a much better unit. I'm curious if you felt the same way being part of it, and where do you guys think you're just a better defense this time, this year, than last year?
I think obviously we all know that I think assets were contributed, as far as getting some DBs and, some D linemen. And I feel like the best way I explain it is that we're so much more, I think I told you, like squared away, just like top down from coaching, like defensive coaching staff to, the bottom of the defense. And, it's a good feeling going into the season. And, that's the best way to describe it.
You're always striving to find consistency as a professional athlete. Really your last two seasons feel like they were pretty consistent, high-level tackle numbers, statistics across the board, pretty comparable. Where are you looking to, maybe take your game up a level from there?
Yeah, I feel like the last year was the first year I didn't have any turnovers, so I feel like that's definitely been a focus for me personally and really as a defense as a whole. So, just that playmaking ability, that's really it.
In the defense, how much of that is opportunity versus what you can actually create?
And also what, man-to-man defense, it's a little harder to, get those interceptions and stuff like that. But, forced fumbles is big too. And, you have plenty of opportunities of just being intentional within those opportunities to get that done.
What does
Brian Branch moving to high safety do for the defense as a whole, but specifically your unit?
Yeah, I'm excited for him. Just going back there, being the player that he is, he's obviously a playmaker. He's going to have more opportunity to do certain things and be on the field all the time, obviously. And that's something he wasn't last year. And that's really, at the end of the day, you want your best players on the field all the time. And that's what that allows him to do.
You've been through seasons like this before where you're entering with, high expectations as a team, as an individual. Can you just explain your level of excitement in that context?
Yeah. As a competitor, it's exciting. I think that this is how it should be. This is the expectations that you want as a competitor. And, it's you don't want to put one thing in front of the other, and there's a lot of outside noise and excitement outside of here. But Dan put it a good way. Today he actually said the first goal is win the division, and that's our focus, that's our mindset, and it starts week 1 against a really good NFC opponent.
How excited are you for that linebacker group as a whole? Obviously, you're an established player, had a lot of success in this league, 100 tackles last couple of years. But just for Jack and Derek, and are those kind of breakout candidates?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think in more ways than you think. I think that, especially Derek, his ability to do certain things that, not a lot of linebackers across the league can do. I think, he should put himself and our team in a great position going forward. And, I'm excited for both of them. They put in the work, and, they're just really good players and really good people too.
You understand the expectations that come with being a first-round pick. There's a higher outside expectation, whether that's the message in the building. So
right.
Where have you seen Jack maybe take that leap in his second offseason?
I think it's just in the little things. I don't think it's any huge leap that, he was missing last year. Obviously, he gets more comfortable within the defense and, playing in the NFL and going into games and, just getting more comfortable in his role. And, I think that's what's you're going to see, just that being comfortable, flowing within a game and just playing how he does. And, he like last year was a good year for him. And I think that it kind of gets overlooked because you expect this first-round linebacker to, take over a whole game and stuff like that. But that's not always how it goes. And but he definitely has the capability to do that.
Is he still so serious in the meeting rooms?
No, he's softened up a little bit.
Just coming off the playoff from last year and knowing what the atmosphere was like in Ford Field for those 2 home playoff games, what are you just most looking forward to about getting back there this Sunday?
Yeah, it's obviously, we didn't play, a lot of the starters didn't play in the preseason, and, that last preseason home game is definitely cool and, kind of got the juices flowing as far as the excitement and, just getting in front of the fans, playing defense. There's really nothing better than playing here in front of the fans, so.
What do you think's anything either from them or within you guys when you play, just 2 teams to start off the season that you beat in the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They're obviously really, really good teams, and the first game you look at is on film is the one we played. So we're familiar with each other, and obviously it's a new year. We're gonna do different things, but it's definitely exciting.
What was it like playing in the field and the crowd noise for Lions Rams the first time around?
Oh, it was loud. It was loud. It was really cool. I don't even know how to describe it because there was just like a buzz in the air, and I think that's how it's going to be going forward. So I'm really excited about that.
How difficult does that make your job? I mean, you're the guy kind of leading the communication and defense, home games. Everybody's so excited, but it also makes your job harder.
Yeah, I mean, after the game, I'm going home, and I don't really have a voice left for for my wife and kids. So I think that. It's definitely, you have to be more vocal, especially calling the plays. And, signals become important in, playing defense. But, it's definitely, it's difficult, but as much as it makes that difficult, it hurts the opposing offense more.
From what you remember, what challenges does running back Kyron Williams present for you guys in the defense?
Obviously he's shorter build, but he's stocky, he's competitive, he runs hard. Really good player, very productive. Year last year, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do the 2 running backs with Corum and see how he plays. I know that he didn't play in the preseason, so it's going to be a fresh look on game day really of what he's going to be. So they have 2 studs back there, and it's going to be a challenge for the linebackers.
Is that the loudest game you played in? Ever played a craziest atmosphere last year? You think back to that?
I'd say the NFC Championship game in New Orleans was definitely up there. You could ask Jared. about that game. It was definitely the loudest that I've been a part of. But yes, it's outside of that is definitely up there.
I'm just curious, have you ever played in a linebacker room with 7 guys on the 53-man roster? And what does that say to the depth of that position?
Yeah, potentially New Orleans, I may have, but I'm trying to think. Maybe. But 6, 5 or 6 is usually the norm. But yeah, it definitely shows the talent and the depth and the trust that they have in our room. And that really just shows how versatile our room is on special teams, what we can do on first and second down and on third down as well. So that's just a testament to that.
You're kind of running out of guys to mentor, so probably good to get Trevor in here.
Yeah, I guess so. Next up.
Which player is on your shirt, by the way?
It's David. I got this shirt last year. I was just put it on. I guess that's what we do around here.
What have you seen from him in camp? Because just from watching on the side, he seems bigger, stronger, faster, and everything.
Yeah, I'd say this. I'm happy training camp is over just for that reason. Just, we go live in training camp here and practice, and I'm tired of tackling him and attempting to tackle him too. So I think that, he's one of the running backs that have, if going against him for years and then seeing him in person in practice on my team and how he works and how he competes, it's definitely – I'm excited for him. I'd put it that way. I'm excited for him this year, and, I expect him to have a huge year.
I know he didn't play a ton, this offseason, injuries and whatnot, but what makes Sam Laporta such a good tight end, especially so early in his career?
Yeah, I think that just his ability to, feel things out. He has like that savviness that not a lot of young players have, and that helped him a ton last year. So, I definitely say that, and obviously, his ability to catch the ball and be competitive when he's, challenged in the past game, and that separates him, just his hands and his ability to catch those 50-50 balls.
Any comments on the Gators?
It's tough. I'm not going to say anything necessarily, but, 0-1, but, at the end of the year, that's all you're going to see. You're going to see how we lost. It's just going to be 0-1. So it's tough.